Mm, it's okay. It's good to talk about it. Like, I don't even know if you've ever fully spoken about all of this stuff. I don't know if you've ever fully healed.
Always put Christ in the center. Do you know he's in control? If it's not about Christ, then I'm not involved. It's either you're hot, lukewarm, or cold. Lukewarm or cold. It's either you're hot, lukewarm, or cold. If it's not about Christ, then I'm not involved. I hope you know that my Lord is in control of everything that is around me. If it doesn't look right, I won't take it lightly.
Everyone, welcome back to Unfiltered Conversations with Etuna. We are in season 2. Season 2, guys. I hope you guys missed me. I missed you. So let's get this show started, okay? We have a very, very special guest with us today. Our first guest for season 2. And it's my dearest cousin. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Gina. I'm Etuna's cousin, as she says. Yeah, I'm really honored and pleased to be here today to talk to you guys, answer anything that you want to ask me. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. But
yeah, let's see how it goes. We're just gonna have a conversation. We haven't really spoken like this in a very long time, so let's see how this thing goes. Yeah. So okay, before we get started, I'm just gonna start off by asking you 3 icebreaker questions. Yeah. So the first one is, what is the genre of music that you will never get tired of, that you can listen over and over and over again?
to be honest, gospel.
Really?
Gospel is one of my rhythm. It takes away all the pain, all the worry. It takes me back into humanity. I feel so comfortable. I feel myself. I don't think I'll ever get tired to that. Doesn't matter in what language it is, but yeah.
You know what I was expecting you to say?
What's that?
Guess what?
What? Please don't tell me about our local artists, please.
No, I thought you were gonna say Kizomba.
Yeah, but that would be my second option, actually. Yeah, but
yeah. Okay. So the second one is, what is the most valuable advice anyone has given you?
Sure. To be honest, there have been a lot, but I have this tendency of listening, and then I have the last decisions to make, like to take. I would say trust God in everything. Everything has got a beginning and an ending. Don't be in a rush to get somewhere. If it's your time, it's gonna be your time. If it's yours, it's yours. So yeah. That's my mostly, yeah.
Okay, so the last one is, if there's one person that you could bring back from the dead, who would it be?
Gosh, I think that's an obvious question that anybody would really wanna, who would wanna grow up in this world without a mom? So, or losing your mom at a very young age would be. Let me cut you short. Let me just say it would be my mom. That would be the first thing.
Okay, I think I already need tissue.
I didn't expect this, but then I was.
You already know. I'm also just. Yeah. So okay. So when I contacted you, I did tell you that I feel like this is the area that just like the Holy Spirit is leading me to discuss today. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about grief, bereavement and loss. Okay, so that's the topic that we're going to be talking about today. And yeah, so Gina, I just want you to just share a little bit about your story. Obviously, we have something in common. We both lost our moms. Um, I think, okay, you were way younger than I was when you lost your mom. So can you just share a little bit with us how old you were and yeah, how that was for you, and how your relationship was with your mom, what you can remember.
Yeah. My mom passed on when I was probably 10, 9, 10, 11, if I'm not mistaken. Um, the news to that, it wasn't actually shocking. I mean, I was like shocked. Actually, it was. I don't even have words for it because it was a thing of like me getting out of my sleep. I'm hearing people crying in the house, and I'm hearing the elders saying, "No, don't tell, don't wake the child up." And I was like confused, And this auntie of mine has to come to me and like, "No, Gina, I want to tell you something. Your mom is gone." And I was like, "What do you mean, mom is gone? Mom went to window. I mean, that time we're in a pork." I was like, she was taken to window for hospitals. She was admitted there. Then like, no, your mom is gone. And I was like, no, what do you mean mom is gone? Mom is coming back. Because I remember the last conversation I had with her. She was like, my baby girl, I'm going to Windhoek and I'm coming back. So that thing was like stuck in my head, like, yeah, she's coming back, she's gonna come back. You know, um, it was a shock, but I didn't really register it into my head by then. It was just like, they're just talking. So I was too occupied with playing and, people arranging the funeral stuffs and by then my dad wasn't around. My dad was like in the DRC when they with the mission of in the army. So he was in the army.
Yeah.
So to me, it was like not a joke, but it was like one of just those.
It didn't hit you at the time.
Yeah, it didn't really hit me that way. Yeah, so yeah, we went through with the whole burial things. There was a moment that we have to go and view the body, and that was the moment where it almost like struck me, because the thought of me, coming to view her face in the casket, and she looked so peaceful. She looked like as if she was sleeping, and and yeah. So I was like, it's nothing. She's gonna come back. That thing was just in me. So yeah, it was tough. Growing up, I went through. I don't know how to call it, but they say it's part of life, part of growing. My dad came back from Congo, and then he took us from Opuo, me and my big brother, since we are only two on my mom's side. My big brother and me. So my dad took over us, took us to Rundu. We went to school there. It was high school. I was like going to high school now. So my dad decided, no, he's going to put me in a hostel. It's like, yeah, it's fine. So peer pressure with me was like not really a big issue, but I was like a lost sheep. I never had a mother figure. I didn't know what is right. I didn't know what is wrong. I just bumped myself into wrong friends. I got influenced into alcohol and smoking, all the bad things that I could really think of. I did them, to be honest. And this was just because of my upbringing. I never had that person that really could guide me, like, child, this and this and this. So yeah, I got pregnant, the age of 22, not really that I'm against it or I regret on having my daughter, but I failed in life in ways that I would wanna wish to go back and correct them, but I can't. What is past is past, and hey,
Yeah. So,
this is
what memories do you have of your mom, like growing up before she passed away?
oh, my mom was a very strict lady. She
Mm,
was really, really strict, and she really wanted the best out of me, out of us, her kids. Um, Memories, I would say, I loved the way she always taught me how to be a woman. I should,
yeah.
I should do my house chores as a woman. I should,
Mm,
you know, I should be dependable on my own. I don't have to be depending on anybody or any man. She taught me work in my hands. Up to today,
yeah.
where I sit down, I'm so proud of myself that she taught me that I have to. I don't even have to ask a man to make fire outside.
Mm,
I can do it.
wow.
I don't need a man to tell me no. You should wait, and I'm coming to nail a nail on top of something. I do it myself. I have that. I'm
And
really proud of
imagine you
myself.
were still so young, but she already
Exactly.
like.
Exactly. I
It's
cook. She taught me how to bake. She taught me how to cook. Hey,
you know
yeah.
what? It's like it's so crazy because it's kind of the total opposite of my mom. My mom and your mom were like besties.
Hey, like this.
And actually, your mom's funeral was the first funeral I ever attended. I think how old was I? I think I was 14 there,
Mm,
somewhere, 14, 15,
okay.
somewhere there. And
Quickly try to.
yeah, is my thing even okay? Okay, this is good.
We are back.
All right, okay. Yeah,
Where
no,
were
so
we?
I was just sharing how the way your mom raised you and compared to my mom, like two complete different stories. Um, and I actually, in a way, um, I don't know. I think, or I wish that my mom had also somehow just. I wish she was a little bit tougher on me
Yeah.
because when she passed away, the things I was doing was based on, yeah, my mom was allowing me to do this and this and this anyways. I didn't
Yeah.
see anything wrong with a lot of the stuff that I was doing because even when my mom was alive, she kind of allowed a whole lot of stuff that,
Mhm.
uh, thinking back now, I wouldn't have allowed my daughter to have gone through some of the stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
so yeah, I think it's a good thing that your mom left you with all of that independence at such a young age, you know?
Yeah.
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 So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so what were the, okay, so having to transition, um, moving to your dad, to Rundu, like, how was that? Like, did you have a relationship prior? And was that the only option? I know you've got obviously your mom's sisters and your mom's mom and all of that. I think that would have obviously probably also have been an option. But what, like, do you know why they have decided or that you guys needed to go to your dad?
Um. To be honest, I never grew up with my mom's side's family, either my dad's side's family. So the only person that I really grew up with was my mom and my dad.
Oh,
I never even got the chance to like really spend a lot of time going to my grandmother. My mom was so strict. Like literally, she would lock me in the yard. Like our yard at that
yeah.
time. She would make sure I have all the toys or what I need, and she would not allow me, not even to go to town, unless I'm with her. That's how strict was my mom. So, um, on decision on who, where am I supposed to go, where are we supposed to go, that was based on my dad. My dad has his reasons why, which I'm actually really thankful of today that we went to my dad's side because um, every family has got issues,
Yeah.
We all have, skeletons here
I
and there.
know.
I'm so proud of my dad. My dad took the duty of being my mom. He's my everything up to today. I'm so open to him that he's so open to me that we talk about anything, be it relationships, be it anything. He's a mother figure to me. Despite all my other siblings that I'm having on my father's side, the bond that I have with my dad is so strong. It was even stronger than when my mom was alive. I remember there was a time that my mom would like spank me, and then I would steal the phone in the house, and I would call my dad, and I would report her, and then my dad would like call it back, and he would be like scolding my mom, like, yeah, don't touch my daughter, and all those sort of stuff. So yeah, my dad had the choices. He made the decisions on that one. Yeah, and I'm really thankful today, even though he's the one that like who really groomed me like an egg. I did everything that I wanted. I got everything that I wanted. He spoiled me to become this person that I became then. Yeah, but as time went by, I grew up in differentiating what is right, what is wrong on my own, you know. And the other person that really inspired me growing up was you. You really, ah, gosh,
Really?
people will be talking like, yeah, I spoiled bread, your dad spoiled you, you're like a tuna, what, and I'll be like, sitting down and thinking like, Etuna had the audacity of standing up, when you're staying in Oshakati, when you got Gabby, I remember coming to you that time, and, I look up to you. I really do look up to you. Like, you're a strong woman, and today you are here, you are in the UK or wherever you are. So, so I when I like sat down and thought to myself, if my cousin can do it, why can't I? Why
Wow.
can't I stand on my feet? I had this thing of like leaning on a boyfriend. My boyfriend always took advantage of me, of my kindness, of my obedience, and you know so I always let myself so down. They could do anything to me. I can get. I was abused mentally, physically, emotionally.
Um, do you think that it's I'm just thinking about what you said earlier about how your mom was so strict that she wanted to just keep you to herself, and you could only go out when she's out and stuff like that. What do you think? It looks like she was protecting you from.
From I think she was protecting me from the world outside. I think she knew what the world had. Um, Not that she did it in a bad way. I was young, obvious. So I think she wanted me to experience it at a right age where she estimated it wrong that she was not going to be there.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, because at
Yeah,
least she
I
didn't get
would
a chance to explain to you why she was
exactly,
doing what she was
Ex-
doing. I think if she
exactly,
had that chance to explain to you why, you would
exactly.
have been better prepared for
Very much.
especially the relationships and stuff that you went through.
Yeah.
Um, so okay, so do you feel like um, the men that you have been with were attracted to your vulnerability? Like, what kind of men were you attracted to? Because you are talking about how you were being abused, emotionally. I guess physically, like all the types of emotional, I mean, all the types of abuses. Like, but then what do you think?
Um,
Why were you attracted, or what were they attracted to you? Like, what is it that you like put out there for them to be able to do all these things to you?
um, let me just start off by our meeting points. Our meeting points were very wrong. We would meet in a club. We
Yeah.
would meet in a party session or the places, the venues that we normally meet up are just a red flag.
Mm.
So we are people that meet into alcohol and partying. We get into partying. At the end of the day, you want to build up a relationship, and then when this relationship has to be built, the other person still wants to go out and do that, and you're probably trying to get yourself out of this whole circle, but then this person is trying to refuse because they're too addicted to that. And when you're trying to try to pull this person out of this addiction, you become a bad person. So it's kind of like a fight between this. I want out, is still
Yeah.
in. It won't really work out. So, and then a kid has to get involved. So this is something huge. You're bringing another human being on this earth. So you two have to be responsible. You two have to come to a point of agreeing what has to be done right and all that. So I think what attracted them was basically I was too vulnerable. I was too
Mm.
I was just a yes person. I would be
Mm.
told, stay home, do this. Because of how my mom brought me up, I would take over the whole household as a mom or as a wife. I always play the duty of that. I'm
Yeah.
a person who, I need to fix this. This person has to eat. The clothes have to be washed. Sort of those things. And then they take advantage of me. You go back to where we meet. Obviously, you're gonna meet somebody else also there. So that's where the whole cheating things comes in. And
Mm.
hey,
And how are you able to get out of um, these relationships? Like, was it a thing that, okay, you got tired after a few months, or it was a thing that was dragging on and on and on, and you just couldn't find yourself getting out of it?
oh, guys, I was lost.
Yeah.
To be honest,
And I think, is it also because, like, I mean, okay, did you have any mother figures? Like, sometimes you need that. I know you had your dad and everything, but then I think it's very important to also have just that mother figure that you can go back to from a
exactly.
woman's perspective to give you advice based on. So did you have that, and do you think that was a contributing factor to even the type of men that you ended up with?
Um, I never had a mother figure. I have my aunties. I learned this the tough way, the hardest way.
Hmm. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. It's good to talk about it. Like, I don't even know if you've ever fully spoken about all of this stuff. Um, I don't know if you've ever fully healed, which is why you're probably even still getting emotional right now, because all those flashbacks, it's like,
I never healed. I
yeah,
get so hurt, at times where I so wish after today that my mom was here.
yeah, I know. I know those moments. I hate them a lot as well.
I look at
Mm.
my kids today and I'm
I'm this person. I have this tendency in me that I always tell myself I'm okay. I'll be fine. I'll pull through. I always come out with a smile to everybody. I was criticized. I was misjudged.
Yeah.
Most importantly, when it's coming from your family.
Yeah.
People that you think they got your back.
Yeah.
Uh, I learned this out of motivational speeches. Um, it's funny to say this, but your book really brought a really, really, really played a big impact in my life.
Oh, yeah.
It's really, it lightened up, you know, a lot of things, a lot of darkness in me.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect, I've got my ups and downs. I'll be
Yeah.
like this. And one thing that I always never really dim out in me is it's God. The spirit of God's always there. I wouldn't have been here today. Trust me,
Yeah.
I went through a lot. A lot of the people don't even know, you know. But they say you can never say my problems are harder
Bigger than
or
others.
worse than
Yeah.
yours. The pain is
Mm.
the same. It's just that
Mm.
it happens in different aspects. Yeah, but I I learned life the hard way in my own perspective. Not I learned how to stand up on my own. You know, I always thought probably being in a relationship with somebody is a solution to your life. But the whole time I was just lying to myself. I had to seek God first. I had to seek Him, and then He showed me. He showed me doors that I thought I would never see. You know, and I'm really thankful for that. I'm thankful, like really, really thankful. Um, my mom left me at a very disappointing age where I really cry and I ask God. Sometimes I get mad at Him and I'll be like, why?
Yeah.
Why did you do that? If she would have been here, it would have been better. But at the same time, he puts that voice in me and says, I know what I did. I know why I did it. You're not the one to come and judge me and all those sort of things, sort of questions. But so far, I'm really, I don't know how should I say it. I'm filled with hope, faith in
Mm.
me that something good is waiting for me. Like I know there's a light at the end of that tunnel.
Mm.
God is not done with me yet. And He
Mm.
has a calling for me that I haven't really picked out yet, but I know
Mm.
it's coming. I know it's
Mm.
coming. So yeah.
Um, you know, when my mom passed away, okay, I was 16, turning 17 that year. So I wasn't as young as you, but you know, I was angry at God for I didn't, oof, probably for a good 3 to 4 years, I just stopped praying. I didn't pray for 3 to 4 years, if not even longer. I just became very rebellious. I became very angry. I didn't want to listen to anybody. I was doing my own thing. I didn't care. I felt alone. I felt like, yeah, whatever. Um, I think to the point of where even my aunts, um, I don't know, I think they just didn't know how to handle me because of how spoiled I was, also how my mom, I was the untouchable child.
Yeah.
So I think they were scared or they just also didn't know, or it's like every time they tried, then I would get very
Yeah.
aggressive.
Aggressive. Yeah.
And I guess then they just chose to just Okay, whatever. Just let her do what she wants to do, you know?
Yeah.
I think the one thing though that I wish had happened, and which I think a lot of our Black parents or um, our Black people don't do or take seriously or practice is therapy.
Yeah.
I honestly think that if from the time my mom passed away when I was 16, if they had put me in some sort of, you know,
Yeah.
being a psychologist or therapist or whatever, I think I would have made better choices also, and I would have healed more
in a better
easily.
way.
Yeah. And the thing, okay, so I want to ask you because, okay, I turned to alcohol. You know, I wasn't addicted to alcohol, but I loved alcohol. Like
Alcohol.
I
Exactly.
just loved drinking. And then I would go crazy and I would do crazy stuff. And it was a thing of, oh yeah, it was just the alcohol. Oh, Tuna is just like that. She's just crazy. It was kind of a way that I could, you know, yeah, like escape. And it would be okay because I wouldn't be even ashamed of the things I would be doing because I would expose myself before anyone else can say anything about me. So I think that was my way of protecting myself, you know. And what, how did you, what was your coping mechanism, or what did you do to kind of protect yourself from the world? And do you also agree that maybe if, or maybe you went to see a therapist or a psychologist, I don't know your story, but you know, do you think that would have made a difference a little bit in your life, especially based on the choices that you've made, the wrong choices?
Should I have known what I know now about, you know, getting your kids or somebody into a therapist, I think that would have been a better choice. But the best choice is that, any parent or anybody would advise or direct anybody who's going through pain or through trauma or something. With me, what really worked for me, alcohol was the first thing to work. Trust me. Alcohol partying was the only option that could distract me from the world, because when I drank, I felt like everything is fine, I can do whatever I want to do. I go sunrise, I'm here, it was a whole lot of just partying with me. Partying was the only thing. So yeah, to me that was my only escape to partying, and alcohol was
And did you like with me now, I would get into that stage mostly where yeah, the pain was real, but the person just didn't really know it at the time. I would get to that stage where I would be like, when I get into that zone, oftentimes, then I start thinking about my mom. And then I start missing her. But the good thing about me is, compared to my younger brother, okay, my younger sister, we were three, or we are three at my mom. So I'm the eldest, and then my brother who comes after me, who's 5 years younger than me, and then my mom's last born, we don't have the same dad. Okay, me and my brother have the same father, and then the last born has a separate dad. But she was only 4. So obviously she was way too young when my mom died. So with me, I would speak up. I think that's what saved me because I can't keep things inside. So whatever I felt, I would just express myself, whether it's through swearing, and then, I miss my mom and you guys don't get, like, that was my way. Like, I would literally call out whoever did me wrong. Like, I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared to speak up. And I think that really helped me because I never experienced even having suicidal thoughts or, you know, things like that. Fortunately for me, I didn't have to go through that. But I think it's because I didn't keep things inside. But my brother, on the other hand, he's like the quiet type. So you don't really know what's going on in his head. And I think that's more dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
Very much.
Because now sometimes all of a sudden you just see him breaking things. You know, breaking things or hitting walls or like that was, but it would just come out of nowhere. And I think it's because he wasn't able to let it out. You know what I'm saying? So, but then now with you, how did you like? How did you? How do I put this? What was your way of like letting it out? Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I'm more of your brother type or you. I'm just in between. Yeah. I wouldn't really talk out, and I wouldn't really. I never even also had any suicidal thoughts in me. Those never in me. The only escape that I had was just partying. To be honest, friends, alcohol was the only thing, and throughout of this alcohol, I would sit down and just synthesize my own world. You know, I'm just in my own world. I don't care whatever that they're thinking. I'm just there. But there comes a time whereby I would do crying. Crying would have crying was my helping asset also on one side. I would think of things and then I would sit down or lock myself in the room and then I would just cry my eyes out, you know, without talking to anybody. Um, you know, I had this thing of whenever I want to try to open up to my aunties, they had this negativity in them, you know. We are not the ones that killed your mom. You know, people are just
I know.
People are in this world.
And I'm happy that we are talking about this. You know, I mean, this is, they might even look at this, but the truth is the truth, right? This is our story and it's our experiences, and I can relate. Like, I completely shut down from my family, you know. Okay, I didn't grow up with my dad's side of the family, but now with my mom's side, my aunts and everybody, because I just felt like they should have done more. They should have protected me more. They should have put more effort instead of just letting me do my thing and just having to, you know, figure things out for myself. Do you understand? So I grew that. Um, I won't say I hated them, but then I was just like, I felt alone. So I just felt like I always felt like I needed to do things by myself. It was me against the world. Now, listen, what are we drinking before we continue? I think we need a drink. Okay, this is not wine, guys. Please, it's juice.
This is actually just juice too, please.
Yeah, so I was talking about how I just threw them away because I just felt like they threw me away. So I distanced myself. Okay. For a very long time. I just didn't care. I wasn't bothered about seeing them. They weren't bothered about seeing me or my kids. Like, so it was just me, myself, and I and my kids.
I remember me coming from my dad. I think it was the time that I got pregnant with my first child. You know, my mom had this pension money. Pension money. So, I mean, that time it wasn't really a lot. I think I got a 10K or something. 1021. Little that I didn't know that my family, my aunties, were so into this money that when I spent it and finished it, they had a grudge on me, like
for your own money that your mother left for you.
Exactly.
Which wasn't even a lot.
it wasn't a lot. You went to go spend your money alone. Yeah, you know, you have this word in our language most. Yeah, you know, you went to
Yeah.
go hit yourself in a stone. Now, you
Has
know, life
come
is
there.
hard
Oh,
for
by
you.
the way, we are
Okay.
members, guys. You know, like that's we
Yeah.
are them. I'm mixed. I'm a Demba mixed with Oshiwambo, but now we are
Yes.
related at our
Yes.
Demba side. Can you just
Yes.
explain a little bit about our tribe? Like we are a marginalized tribe, you
Yeah.
know, from Rwakana
From
side.
Rakana. I'm gonna lie if I have to really tell
Oh
them
no,
what
what's going?
exactly because I'm
And so
also
what's
feeling
going on
lost.
today? I'm
What's
getting a
going on?
call. I'm quick. Today's I don't usually get calls
I
the
was also
same.
getting a call. That's why it also went like that. So
Oh, it's
I had to like
yo,
rewrite them.
yeah,
Yeah. So I would be lying if I have to say more about our tribe because I'm not really. I haven't done
yeah.
a lot of homework on
Yeah,
that.
me too.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So back to us, back to our
yeah,
conversation that we had. And we have these favoritism cousins. My
mm,
aunties have, like, on my side, I'm the black
yeah,
sheep. I'm the black sheep
yeah,
of the family. To be honest, that
mm,
one I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a black sheep of the family. My cousins have got their people. Their my aunties, in everything that they do, whatever they need, they are seen. I am not seen. Me and my brother, let me say, or maybe my brother has got his. I'm not sure, but
yeah,
anyway, I'm talking on my side now, on my behalf. So, um, I actually never also took them seriously, but then I was hurting. I always had this question that I always wanted to ask this individual auntie of mine.
mm,
I always wanted to ask her, what does she has against me? That she hates me
mm,
so much that when I was pregnant, I remember approaching her with my grandmother, which is her mom,
mm,
approaching her looking for work. You know
mm,
what did she answer me? I
mm.
would I would forever carry that. Not that I forgave her, but I will never forget.
Yeah,
Um, there's this wind that goes around like in the air. That
yeah. The
like
whirlwinds. Yeah.
yeah, something like that.
Mm,
So there was a plastic like around like on top, and then
yeah.
you know what she told me? She told me, "Do you see that plastic flying in that whatever?"
Yeah.
I said, "Yes." She said, "That's you. You are a lost soul." Because you know how hateful was that? I cried. I cried literally in front of her and my grandmother. It touched me so deeply that I I don't know.
Yeah.
And seeing my cousins here working for her in the shop.
Mm,
But I fought, and I fought. I got a job,
mm.
poor, which was really maintaining me. You know, God, God never leaves my side. The devil is like,
Wow.
trust me.
Yeah. It's
And I
painful.
went,
I I have a lot of painful moments as well with my family, but it's all good.
hey,
I've
God
also
to forgive.
forgiven. I even went to the point of making contact, and all of that. So not that I necessarily wanted to do it, but being born again and stuff like that now,
Yeah,
it's like we
exactly.
just have to let go of certain
Go
things, and we have to do
exactly,
certain things that we don't really want to do, like
exactly.
contacting someone who has hurt you like that, like not just someone but your aunt. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
that's like,
So
hey,
yeah.
and then growing up, you're hearing things like, your mom's passing was caused by this individual that so hates you so much. I think probably it's a chain that people want to connect through my mom, through me, through my kids, you know. And these are chains that I'm praying for, that I'm breaking
Mm,
every day. I'm praying for this generational curse or generational chain
yeah.
that, I don't know.
And
I have that instincts in me that this
mm,
comes from far. It's not me who
mm,
brought it. There's a root in it.
Yes.
I don't really hate nobody, but I always give everything in God's hands because He
Mm,
is the solver. He is our God.
mm,
He is the decision maker at the end of the day. You know, at the end of the day today, their parents, and I think looking at their kids, hey, God is just not stupid. God
yeah.
just there's just something about Him that just gives me all the chills in me that makes me so comfortable and I sleep at night, knowing
Mm,
that God has me in His hands. He's not gonna
mm,
take me. He's not gonna leave me now. I went through this and these places where I thought I was going. People thought I was dying. There was a
yeah.
point whereby I got so cause
At which point did you at which point did you start feeling God's presence in your life? Um,
um
yeah, like at what age and what were you facing during that time when you actually started really
whew,
noticing or feeling God's presence in your life, like the way you are expressing yourself now?
um I grew up going to church actually at a very young age, but that was like being a child.
Mm,
My my spiritual connection started when I got pregnant with my first child.
already?
Yeah, that's when
Yo,
it really kicked in me.
yeah.
Um, I went through a C-section. I remember waking up out of this anesthesia. The only people that I could think of or that could come out of my mouth was my mom's name and God. That's all. You know,
You really experience him at a young, like, I thought it's just,
no.
like some of us who are only.
That's what I'm saying. It kicks in, it kicks in. It's just that I don't have a mentor, or I haven't really probably given myself fully to this duty that God's
Yeah.
calling. I
Okay,
haven't.
so that was the beginning of when you like kind of started your relationship with God, like properly, when you were 22. You are now 35.
Fight.
Okay. So when do you think you like started becoming a bit more serious? You know what I'm saying? Like leaving your old ways behind and um, you know,
Um,
being on this path of following God.
2020
Oh,
after COVID, yeah. 2020 was the year that a few things started to kick in, but not fully because I was still baby stepping. Yeah, 2020 was the year that I really started really trying to gather up a lot.
did something happen or did you have an encounter or
Um,
was it just a
um,
thing where you were just like, like with me,
um,
I was just tired. Like I was just tired of everything and of the way I was living and of all the pain and of all the heartaches and all the heartbreaks. Like I was tired. That's how I just decided, like, yo, okay, Lord, I'm tired of taking control and, so just do your thing. I don't want to do this anymore. Not
yeah,
on my own.
yeah. With me, COVID struck me, and my last baby daddy. Um,
Yeah.
uh, I thought I went through a lot with the other relationship that I had. Trust me, this one was still not was. It's still hell.
But are you guys are not together anymore?
Not at all. But this guy is just too obsessed at a point of like apparently I had to. I gave him things through food. I witched him. He went to be washed. I'm from a poor, and we are people like this. I mean, like
We are witches.
seriously, like 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 I, cause this man is
Okay,
that time
so how do you're okay?
with me. I think I also got tired of living the life that I was living. I got tired of relationships that are too draining. He was draining me. You know, I even came to a point of like introducing him God. There would come a moment where I'm reading a Bible, and he would come in the room and he would like laugh at me like, people are trying to become pastors, trying to.
It's the demons in him, man.
I'm telling you.
They were manifesting, yeah.
And I'll be like there, and I'll be like looking at this guy, like, is this guy serious? I mean, seriously, it would provoke me in different ways that I would get mad, and then I would pick up a fight with him, and then he would beat me up.
Oof.
Hey,
Do you think you are now in a place and space where you are ready to be found by your husband, or is it something that you don't? Oh, well, do you even want to get married? Let me first ask that. Or it's just not something that is on your mind right now. It's not something that you are desiring.
I've um I've always dreamed of getting married. I've always had this picture of me with my family, my kids, my husband. I'm in my house, in my cozy kitchen. I'm making dinner. I'm putting the kids to bed and all those things.
Yeah.
But as time went by and this experience of mine, I started growing fear, you know,
Mm.
fear on men. I
Mm.
know they are all not the same, but what I've experienced, it gave me a lot of doubts. At the moment, I just want to focus on myself now.
Mm.
I want to do me.
Mm.
I want to heal more. I want to.
Yeah.
I want to intervene. I want God to intervene in my life for me to become a better me. In order for me to be
Yeah.
able to see another person. So basically, at the moment, nah, I,
Yeah.
I don't see me with a man like I'm in a stable relationship. Actually, I'm scared of guys. Let me just put it in that way. I'm just scared
Yeah.
of commitment at the moment. I feel like sometimes I'm too much. Maybe I love too much, or I
Mm.
go overboard. I don't know. I might be the problem. That's why I need to find myself first.
Mm.
I need to know what are my weak points. What are my those sort of things in order to build me to be who I want to be and to be with that person that I want to be with.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I won't really tell. Even if I have to jump into a relationship now, I'm still hurt where I'm coming from. So it's gonna be hard for me to.
So
Yeah,
there's still a whole lot of healing that needs to
yeah,
take place.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's a process, but as long as you're not gonna give up on,
Yeah, no, no,
I'm
no.
I'm a sucker for love, so
Hey, talk
even when
about
I
me
was
too.
going through my issues
Mm-hmm.
within my relationships, um, I was still always that person that still believed that one day,
One day, exactly,
one day. So I
exactly.
don't want you to give up on your dream. It's still gonna happen. It
Yeah.
can still happen. You in your kitchen cooking something for your
You
husband
know, you
and
know,
your
you know, you
children.
know.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you know, I can relate to a lot of stuff, especially in the failed relationships. But it's for me, it was more a thing of I get to understand now that it's because I didn't feel worthy of myself. That was number one.
Exactly. Also.
I always sexualized everything. Everything about me was about, oh, you know, like I thought that that is what men wanted, you know, like, yeah,
Yeah.
it was all about that. And then it was also about mostly, I always felt like I needed to, I think, buy love.
Ah.
So it's like I would be spending and sacrificing myself to just make sure that
So that this
my
person,
person is
yeah,
good, right?
yes.
But then the sad part is they don't really, they never really like,
They
you
don't
know.
care about that. They don't
Yeah,
really,
it's like you all you
that's
wanted was just a thank you or appreciation, but you know, even if it came, it wasn't really from the heart.
hard.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
for me, that was my struggle.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
no, cause what do you want to say to people who are experiencing grief and you know a loss of a loved one, be it a mom, a sister, a father, someone that they, a husband, a wife, someone they truly loved that meant a lot to them, and they're in a space where they just want to give up and they feel like they're never going to heal. Based on your experience, like what advice would you give them?
I'm not gonna lay it out like it's not actually specifically that it's only when you lose a mom that you have to feel that
Yeah.
downness, we all have our certain people in our lives, grief is just grief, but I believe a mother is the foundation of everything.
Mm.
um there's this say that says a black culture,
Mm.
we have this tendency of seeing things in a way like it's nothing, but we
Mm.
deserve to be celebrated every day. You deserve to be celebrated upon your downfalls. You deserve to be celebrated upon your struggle that you struggle in life. You deserve to be celebrated in your achievement that you have achieved, that you have really struggled for a long time or a lot of period of years for you to get there. Every little thing, the traumas that we have fought, you know, the list goes on. But we
Mm.
have this thing in African way of like the only celebrated moment is when you achieve something. You
Yeah.
know, failure also. You have if you have fought failure, you really have to be celebrated. That's a
If
really
you are
big.
distracting me, okay, say hi to Auntie Gina.
Hi,
Hi,
Gina.
Gabby. Hey, guys are big, eh?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
The only
Yeah.
advice that I would really want to give out there would be, um, life is a struggle, man. You know,
Mm.
we are out here for a purpose, and for as long as you're waking up every morning, that man is waking you up every morning. You should seek what exactly does he want from you.
Yeah.
What is it that's waking you up every morning? Um, yeah, fight. People are gonna talk. Uh, uh,
Mm.
uh, you're gonna be discriminated. You're gonna, hey, this is
Woo,
life.
girl, I've been told, oh my gosh, she's never gonna be somebody.
Yes,
She's the failure.
yes,
She's the what?
yes.
She's a
But
yeah. But I never let those things get to me. To be honest, I think also especially because they never said them straight to me.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
because they were scared or whatever. So I would
yeah,
just hear, oh, who said,
yeah.
oh, who said? But then I was just like, oh, okay,
It's
whatever,
okay.
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
How how important is having God throughout this whole, you know, like where do you think you would have been if you hadn't encountered God at that time when you first,
Yeah.
um, at your first pregnancy?
I'll be saving. I'll be. I think I don't know. I'm not sure, but then all that I know I would have been having a position somewhere where I'll be looking down on people, not down in a bad way, but I'll be looking at people in a respectful, in a helpful hand way, you know, in a way that God would really, okay, in a way that people would really appreciate me in a godly way, not in a, yeah. I would have been really far. I would have been really, really, really far. Trust me. I would have accomplished a lot. You know, I've always, I have a small heart. I have a really small heart. I cry really fast. I don't like seeing other people suffering. I don't like seeing other people in pain. You know, I would rather wanna see me in pain than seeing a small child or somebody else in pain. You know, I would take that pain for that person. I would pain for that person. Uh, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
If I have to say it in that way, I think I would have been really far. I would have been really far.
And but then you know that it's still possible, right?
Very much. Never give
Whatever
up.
dreams you still have, whatever vision you have in life, and whatever it is that you always wanted to accomplish and you haven't accomplished it yet, it's still possible. I mean, you're only 35,
Amen.
you know?
Amen.
You're
It's
only
never too
35. And what kind of mother do you think you are now than you were
before.
like when you were 22 when you gave birth the first
Oh,
time to your daughter?
I was. I see myself as a better mom than I was. You know, I was trying. I always tried to be strict with my kids. I was, you know, I spanked my kids. Um, you know, I always wanted things to be done that moment when I want it to be done, and I want them to grow up the way I grew up. You know, but now I come to understand that every generation has got its time. You know,
Mm,
I can't raise my kids how I was raised.
mm,
I can't go back in time, but rather I'll have to leave them and just understand them, listen to them. You know, I think this generation is more sensitive than how we grew up.
mm.
And I believe the next generation after our kids are still going to be more than they are. So
Yeah.
I feel like I'm more understanding now. I listen to my kids. I put myself into their shoes. You know, I sympathize with them. You know,
Yeah.
I really, I get to know what childhood is actually about
Mm.
than how I
And
was.
at least they have a mother figure, right?
Yeah, you know,
And
my
yeah.
my firstborn normally, she's my backbone. You know, she's understanding. You know, her birthday is even coming on Sunday, even on Mother's Day. She said,
Oh.
for God's sake. So yeah, she's one person who really understands that when there isn't, there isn't. When there is, there is.
Mm.
And I know mommy can do this, mommy can do that. Yeah, but I teach them life the hard way, even though sometimes I need to mix it up with goodness. But
Mm.
I want them to learn life the hard way. You know, they need to know how to survive out there because I'm not going to be here for the rest of my life.
I was literally gonna say that my mom always used to say that I'm not gonna
Exactly.
always be here.
Yeah.
Like literally, it was a anthem. You know, it's what
Yeah.
she would always say.
Exactly.
Ah, yeah, and it's true.
I cry sometimes. I look at my daughter and I'm like, why you are like 14 years old? Imagine when did I lose my mom? You at least have me up to now, you know. And I
Yeah.
always, this is something that I always pray to God every time. I ask Him, Lord, don't take me now. Take me when, hopefully, either one of them is working or something, you know, that can look after the other ones, you know. I think I'm gonna live up to a point where I'm gonna hold my grandkid in my hands.
Oh,
That
amen.
I have too much faith in it. I really
Amen.
do. I
Amen.
really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Cass, yo, this was so amazing.
Yeah. It was a talk, and I really appreciate it. You really inspired me. You gave me courage. You lifted my spiritual life. Even sometimes I want to read, on the group, on the platform. I'll be like, I'm tired, but I will eventually, one way or another, I will have to.
Yeah,
So
no,
yeah, I'm
that's
really thankful.
amazing.
I'm really
Oh,
thankful, and I wish
yeah.
you everything, all the goodness in life. I know you are in the process of that. I know you're gonna go far.
Oh, thank you,
Yeah,
Kaz. And I
yeah.
love you so much. And
I
thank you
love you
again
too.
for
Yeah,
coming and being vulnerable and just sharing. And I'm sure, your story, my story, many will be able to relate to. And then it's just going to give them hope as well that, oh, I thought I was the only one who was struggling
yeah,
or went through this or am going through this. But look at
yeah.
Gina.
Exactly.
She went through all that she went through and she's still standing strong. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm wishing you all the best.
Thank you very
Continue to
much.
just put your trust in God. Like you said,
Always.
it was something that the first thing, or when I asked you at the icebreakers, like what is the thing that someone told you that is very valuable, and you mentioned that, right? So continue to do that and continue to trust and just believe and
I will.
don't give up.
Yeah, never give up. We should never give up
Yeah.
in life.
What's your motto, anyways? Do you have a motto in life?
I can't really say now, but we should have a part 2 on this one.
Yeah. Okay. Part two loading. Comment down below if you want a part two, guys.
We
All
should have,
right. All
and
right, guys.
this part two is gonna be breathtaking. Trust me when I say this.
Yes.
I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
guys. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, share if this has blessed you. And yeah, I'll see you again next week. Mwah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao.
Always put Christ in the center. Do you know he's in control?